The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let's jump into the fight that happened this past weekend. A big showcase in the heavyweight division. This happened over at Saudi Arabia, and they've been doing a lot of these heavyweight fights in Saudi Arabia. We had Anthony Joshua defeating Francis Ngannou by knockout in the second round. And in the first round, both fighters were working that jab, kind of trying to like figure each other out and like download the information. And late into that round, bang, straight right, and Joshua knocked Ngannou down. And I'm like, uh-oh, it's the beginning of the end. Then next round, round two, right hook, lights out, his legs buckled. That's how bad the knockout was. And it was night for Ngannou. And after the fight, even Chris called me up. He told me, see, it's level to it.
Levels to it, man. That's how you talk about the Jake. Listen, Jake, there's levels to this, man. That's Joshua's the guy I'm talking about. This guy's been training, went to the Olympics. This guy got all this pedigree before this, fought Chris Klitschko and all these other fighters, got world champions. Yeah, he lost some fights, but this guy does this, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, boxers got no business going into the octagon. They got no boxers got no business going in there trying to fight any of those guys on a real competitive level, right? But listen, MMA fighters, you guys got really no business going in with boxers as well. Like, it's a different game. We know y'all can fight. Y'all got more striking ability. Y'all got more grabbing ability. I'm giving y'all that. I'm giving you got more under your belt than boxers do, but it's a different game when you're only doing one thing the whole fight. It's throwing punches. It's different. And Tyson Fury, he didn't take that fight serious as we're looking at it. We all kind of, he didn't see. That's what happened. You don't take a fight serious. Joshua was not playing. Joshua, you seen him training. You seen him getting ready. He was not going in there taking no L. And, it sucks to say that because, and Joshua is a real professional because I love everything he said after the fight. Everything he said after the fight was 100%. If I'd have lost, I'd have said I'm washed. Because I won, now you're telling me, he should have never been in here. But don't diss him because, I'm Joshua. Like, don't forget who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still a good fighter. He fought two fights here, And he fought basically two of the arguably top 6 fighters in the world.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really knock him, from MMA just coming in. I'm gonna fight this guy and fight that. Hats out to him. Like, I wouldn't want to fight those two guys coming from as a real person, you start low, and then you go up to them guys. Get some ring room. He ain't got no time in the ring. He ain't got no practice, no nothing. He's going in there fighting the top of the top. So this is what happened. There's levels to
it. Steve.
Yeah, the narration before is like, damn, they're writing off this man's food off his table. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell how he was sniping where he wasn't playing. Plus, compared as a professional boxer to a person, so they say, that didn't put in the work that others, you kind of have to make a statement, which I think Fury may have slipped up on making that statement. So yeah, I would say Joshua owes the boxing community, so to speak, for entertaining this, owes Joshua an apology, because he picked up a little bit of Tyson Fury's mess, so to speak, for the boxing community's perspective. Mm-hmm. And like you said, his professionalism after the fight, you didn't see that boy jump around. You know what I'm saying? He kept his composure and looked at, to see if he's concerned, to see if he was all right, because he knew what would happen. Somebody knows ain't got to jump around. That's how he acted. And I think that made his charisma win more with the people and the fans, he went there to do his job to protect the brand of boxing, so to speak. Because I thought Ngannou had a chance just for Fury didn't get that job done. Maybe he has a chance, but boy, I was wrong.
Hey, we all were. Now we all were, and Joshua's made us all remember. Hey, there's levels to this. Don't forget that, fellas. So, shout out to Fury. No disrespect to him, and shout out to Joshua, like you said, man. True professional, true professional. Everything he's been through in his career. They write him off. For them to even entertain something like this is almost to him was like disrespectful. It felt like so. He's like, I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all want to? Okay. No, we're gonna fight him next. I got you. Say less. And it was almost like that. Shout out to Joshua because again, to me, he saved boxing. He actually saved boxing because it's like, all right, y'all can chill for a little bit. Like we got, you know what I mean? Like we can end the talks for a moment.
And I think he was supposed to fight Deontay, was he?
Yeah.
Who? Which one?
It was supposed to be Joshua versus Deontay, but Deontay lost against Joseph. He lost against Joseph Parker.
Yeah,
he kind of fumbled that bag. I think I might.
I still want that fight. I still want that fight. I still want it. I still want it. That's one of the fights I still want because Wilder's getting a little old. He's getting up there, and Joshua too. And this is the time to get it. I think I would love to see that.
Joshua is getting a little bit, but he's only 34. Deontay Wilder's a little bit older. I think Wilder's like 37, 38. So you're right.
They're getting old. They're not young bulls.
Yeah. I think the perfect matchup, if it were to be an alternate universe and not the Anthony Joshua fight, I think the Deontay Wilder and Ngannou would have been better for Ngannou. But that didn't happen.
I don't know
about that.
That right hand comes. That right hand comes real hard from Wilder, man.
Yeah, and then because Joshua, like, he's got knockout power, but he's more like punches by bunches, accumulation. He gets you out of here. Wilder like a one-hitter quitter type.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're right. Style make fights, and I can see why you said that. Because Wilder takes a little long time to get going. He's looking for, like you just said, EJ. He's looking for that one-hitter quitter. Where Joshua is really boxing in there, like more than Wilder be really good boxing. Because once Wilder sees you and he gets that ready and you see him going like this, boom, that's what he's waiting for, that one-hitter quitter. So it would have probably been more interesting. It probably would be. And that's still a possibility fight. I mean, if Uganda's not, keep his head up, I fought Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Just build off of that, go get somebody and probably wash them up. Wilder, hey, what are you doing? I want Wilder next, and that's a possibility.
So we got a lot of things I want to circle around back to, but I'm gonna start off with this, Chris. You said Joshua saved boxing. Go in a little bit more detail about that. How do you think he saved boxing?
Because when I first started, listen, boxers ain't got no real business going into no octagon. Shout out to you if you do, but if you've been boxing your whole life and then one day you like, I'm gonna go in this octagon and fight these guys who've been doing it and got all these tricks and trades to all different other martial art, other different combat sports all together. And when you only been throwing punches, you got no business. Now,
I want to cut you off, but Clarissa Shield 2 weeks ago, she just won her second MMA match. So.
No, that's what I'm saying. But she's talented to go. I'm just saying she just didn't jump in there. She got talent. She can wrestle and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of boxers ain't got no wrestling background at all. Especially when the gyms I've been in, they never wrestled a day in their life. I never wrestled a day in my life. When I used to see guys come to the gym that were like, I'm gonna work on my hands and I'm a wrestler and that did MMA, I respect them because they're going to our boxing gym to learn how to fight. And they still doing MMA. Those are different type of fighters. I'm just talking about one person that does one sport at all time, and then they switch over. We got no business like switching over. And it was getting like with the Jake Paul and all these other fighters coming in. We're seeing boxers losing and stuff like that. Like, man, what's going on with you guys, right? So, we see Fury having a tough night, get knocked down. We're like, oh, Fury, you're not like for us. We're like, damn, Fury, what's going on with you? So Joshua coming in like, hey. There's levels to this, setting it up like, hey, no, this ain't going down like that. I think he saved boxing in a sense like, okay, he ended the conversation for a little bit for now, just for a moment, like, all right, boxing got to win finally for once. I don't think boxing was winning. Like MMA fighters were coming in and like, hey, we could do this too. Almost, which was great for boxing. It still is great for boxing. I'm still would like to see it, but it's like, all right, now you guys got to really work on your game before you come over here. Just like boxers would have to work on their game before they go over there. Don't just go in there from boxing and like Floyd. If Floyd goes in the ring and goes in the octagon, come on, Floyd, what are you doing, big dog? What are you doing, big dog?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when this is a couple like 5 years or so ago. He had the IG post where he was in the octagon with his shoes off and he was like rubbing his hands together, like he was gonna get in there. Like we all know that was cap.
Yeah, come on. He did some sit-ups in that ring. I mean, octagon. That's about it. And got out.
Yeah, I agree. But going back to like the implications of this one, so Joshua did what he needed to do, got him up there, out him out the ring. So does he get the winner of Fury versus Usyk next month? Like I feel like that's the next way to go. Chris, you think that's the next
Joshua?
month? Yeah.
I don't know what Joshua wants to do. I don't even know if I promote Joshua, what I would do with Joshua, to be honest with you. I really don't know. Do you put him in harm's way, or do you ride it out and make it? Because like a guy like him could fight almost anybody and sell out. So what do you do when you're in that? Like it's almost like the one, like we got the Tanks, we got the David Hayes. Like they don't have to fight each other because they can fight anybody else and still sell a ticket. So I don't know when it comes to the business point of it. Like what are we doing? Because I don't know if Josh was catching legacies. I don't know if that's part of his goal. Then yeah, he would take those fights. But when the business aspect, do you take those fights? I don't think so.
So you don't say okay. So we're gonna break this fight down a little bit later. The Usyk and the Fury fight. That's probably gonna be next month. We break it down, but. Say Fury wins, I feel like that's a no-brainer. But if Usyk wins, that's a harder fight to sell because he already beat Joshua twice. So if Usyk wins, then where does Joshua go from there, Chris?
That's what I'm saying. You don't even with Joshua, you're good because you have your own name, so you don't need either of them. That's what I was trying to say. Like you kind of don't like. I don't even know how to promote Joshua because you have to sit down with him. What do you want to do? Like you can kind of almost give Joshua the floor. Like what you want to do? Because here we can make this money over here, and you can still not be in harm's way, or you can go over here and get some harm's way. Like what you want to do. So there's no rush for Joshua. I mean, he's financially stable. If he wants to fight, he'll fight. It's all now to me. For Joshua, it's all about the love of the sport. Like what does he want to do out of it? Does he want to get the bag, or does he love the game to fight all these heavy hitters?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He's got options, but I mean, he's on the rise. He won the big fight back late last year, and he won this fight. So people want more Joshua. But let's talk about the Ngannou side of things. So Steve, we got an MMA show in a couple of days, so we'll talk about the MMA side of things on that show. But as far as the boxing side, where does Ngannou go from this? Does he still have a future in this sport after getting embarrassed like that? And I'll start off with you, Steve. What do you think?
I would say, and his age, I mean, he's probably going to have to train a good 3-5 years to even consider it, probably. I mean, like I said, he just got showed that I've been having so many. I'm like, damn, like Tyson Fury had a bad night. You getting his ass, whoop like this, like ain't no way. And it's like, he for the money, yeah, but for the legacy, I mean, that's what you're basically trading off. Which one you want, and you just got a bag. I mean, you want to go back to MMA, which preferably, I think, like you said, we'll talk about it, but he's the forerunner for getting MMA fighters bigger pay. So he has a multiple jobs to do. I think he'll do better with going back into MMA. But after this display, he made me put a poster down on him. So what does that tell you? Man, I hope he said he'll come back, but I don't think people would see it because one of his attributes was a person that could be durable, not get knocked out. And obviously, we saw what happened this weekend. So that's what I say about it.
Chris, any future in the sport for Ngannou after this one?
Yeah, he got to do it for the culture. I got to see him back in there one more time. He got to redeem himself. He seems like the type of guy that wants to redeem himself. I think he could sell a fight. I don't think he needs a big name. I want to go after no Wilder or nothing. I would do something lighter, and see what he can do, and that would be the real test. I think his next fight to me will show me what type of boxer he can be in this sport. You know, he's like what 37, 38. I don't know how old he is.
Somewhere around that.
So yeah, it's kind of on the high end, but you know, hey, with this, like, we gave him respect before. He just got to earn it back. I mean, listen, he fought top six, two of the top six. I mean, come on now. Let's get him in the top. Let's put him under the top 10. Let's let him fight someone in the top 20 at least. You know, give him a chance. You know, and look what we're putting him against. This guy never had any type of boxing ring, and we're telling him, "Oh, go fight the number one. Go fight the number 4, number 3, number 2 guy. Like, go ahead, do that. Like, come on, we're asking this guy to be Superman." So hats off to him. No, I think he can still make that bridge from MMA to boxing. He got the bag already. Let's get him another bag in boxing, and let's see what he can do. I think his next fight will really determine what I think about him. I think I give him one more shot. I will definitely give him one more look.
Chris said he doesn't want to see him in there against Wilder, but how about him versus like Andy Ruiz?
I don't know if he's fast enough. He did show some good clips. He was pretty quick, quicker than I thought he was. You know, he was pretty quick. Andy kind of quick though. Andy put combinations together. Andy can put them together. I don't know if I'll leave Andy alone. Now, if I'm Andy, I'll call him up. Like, hey, what's going on, man? Where you at? Where you living? I'll call him up, get that fight. But Andy puts them together. Andy's really dangerous.
Yeah. Would you like to see that, Steve? Like a Ngannou
versus
Andy Ruiz?
Especially a person that knows how to roll, take a punch. I don't think Ngannou's, because Andy Ruiz, he's an inside fighter. Especially when you get him upset and he gets in the inside, like you say, that's where those combinations or like Tyson combinations come through. Body, head, body. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you get your knockouts. And I don't think Ngannou fought anybody that got up in his face. I think Andy Ruiz would be confident enough with Ngannou's skills I think that would be a problem for him.
Yeah.
How about Ngannou versus like a King Kong Ortiz? What about that one?
That might be more realistic.
Well,
that might be more realistic for me to watch.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that than the Andy. I think Andy would be next after that one. If I was to do it, if I was promoting, I'll call Ortiz. Hey, Ortiz, what's going on? Yeah, come over here. Let's get this. And then, if I look good, if it looks good, that's when I'll judge him. I think that's more realistic. I like that fight, actually. I like that more.
What do you think about that one, Steve? Ortiz?
It may be more realistic, but like I say, if it's just we need more evidence. But it might be a problem for him too, maybe, because he can punch too.
He hits hard. He does hit hard. Does hit hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So if Ngannou wants to stay in the sport, he has options because he can sell a fight, like especially that Ortiz type fight. Two big brutes like that, like that sells itself. Like America likes to see that two big.
Ngannou will be bigger. That'll be his first fight. He'll be bigger, right? Because he's been the little guy in every fight.
Ngannou, yeah, you're right about that. Actually,
before Ortiz, yeah.
I can't remember Ortiz's like his stats about his attributes or whatever. It'd be closer, but definitely against Ruiz. Like Andy Ruiz is a little bit shorter. I know he probably outweigh Ngannou. I don't know.
That'd be more interesting. That would be interesting to see him as a bigger fighter now, because he's going to go in both fights, the littler guy. So it'd be nice to see what he does.
It's funny you say that, because in the promotion where the two are facing off, like where you buy the pay-per-view and whatever, I noticed, I'm like, damn, they got Ngannou's damn bicep hella bigger than Anthony Joshua. I bet you Joshua noticed all that. And I hear they do tricks like that to, when they trying to wipe another fighter under the rug, those little things to get into their head, make a dude bigger on the poster or in front of him. If y'all ever get back to look at that, you'll notice and y'all saying that Anthony Joshua was bigger. I mean, that just stuck out in my mind.
So
he was way bigger. You could see it in the fight. He looked way bigger than.
Y'all should look at that promotional picture, that poster. It's actually comical how much bigger they made Ngannou in that.
So, Chris, you're right. They're like almost virtually the same size. Ngannou and Ortiz, they're both 6'4", and who knows what they will weigh at on the day of the fight, but same height. And then Ruiz is what? They got it listed by centimeters, like I know centimeters, but whatever 188 centimeters is. I think he's like what 6'2", 6'3", Andy Ruiz, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, if Ngannou faced either one, I think he'd be either equal or bigger than either fighter. So he has options, and it's be interesting, man. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing him box it, but he's got to put some work in the gym because that was embarrassing. Seeing his leg go back like that, it was comical, like a cartoon or something when he got knocked out. But
yeah,
we were all entertained by it. Thank you for checking out this Haymaker Combat Sports segment. This full episode could be found on the Haymaker Combat Sports YouTube page and in audio form on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, peace.